If you are looking for the best PC case fans, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we have included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the 10th position of our list, we have Asiahorse UFOII. If you're saving up for a big upcoming title or Steam sale, but you need some RGB fans in your life, then we have just the thing. Asiahorse makes some affordable and surprisingly good-looking RGB fans called UFOII. While they are affordable, there are some obvious trade-offs. For one, these fans are by no means high performance. They feature some pretty meager specs and don't push very much air. Also, unlike the other RGB fans we have looked at, these are not controlled through a software. They use a remote control that cycles through a predetermined selection of colors and patterns. That being said, the remote is super easy to use and the color options are actually impressively vibrant. On top of that, there are over 100 pre-programmed patterns to choose from. Moving on to the next at number 9 with Thermaltake Riing Plus 12. If you plan to fill your case with RGB lighting and fans, then you will need a good hub to power all of it. Luckily, this kit from Thermaltake will get you well on your way. The Riing Plus 12 kit comes with 5 of their LED lit fans along with a very high quality hub to control all of the RGB in the fans with room for future expansion. Each one of the Riing fans has 12 individually addressable RGB zones that can be controlled in software either on your PC or on your phone. This lets you combine colors in any way you want to make awesome color combinations. The fans perform decently and have enough static pressure to be mounted to a radiator, and even have better airflow than the Corsair LL series fans we looked at earlier. That being said, they are a tiny bit louder than the Corsair option. The included hub can be daisy-chained for future with compatibility for up to 16 hubs. This means you could control up to 80 separate fans and RGB strips, which should be enough for even the most adamant lighting or fan enthusiasts. The number 8 position is held by Cooler Master JetFlo 120. Some days, you need a fan that can keep up with streaming and rendering workloads without melting your hardware. On other days, maybe you don't have time for gaming and just need some peace and quiet throughout a paper. If only there was a fan that could do both. Well, there is. The JetFlo 120 from Cooler Master is a decent fan on paper with solid static pressure and good airflow. While it's not top of the line, it certainly can be used in most cases and would be a fine choice for mounting on radiators too. It is, however, a little loud when running full bore. This can be mitigated by using the included silent mode adapters. These adapters look something like little extension cables and connect to your motherboard's fan headers on one side and the fan itself on the other. These adapters step down the power being driven to the fan and limit the RPM up to. Next at number 7 we have Corsair ML120 Pro. Almost all fans on the market today use ball bearings. Ball bearings are a piece of simple technology that has been around for a long time and are used in everything from simplest fans to the most advanced satellites in orbit. That being said, we have come a long way since the days of Sputnik, and today there are more advanced options when it comes to allowing one surface to glide over another. One of the interesting options when it comes to this is magnetic levitation, which is used in Corsair ML120 Pro fans. As sci-fi as this term sounds, it's actually pretty simple and works pretty much how you'd imagine it would. Magnets inside the hub push magnets in the fan itself to separate the two. Then the two motor can spin the fan. This reduces friction and offers a number of benefits. For one, the reduced friction means the fans can achieve pretty good performance with very little noise. A lot of the sound produced by fans comes from the friction within the ball bearings when they spin. Without this, you are mostly just left with the noise produced by the fan blades themselves. These fans also sport a good lifespan thanks to the reduced friction. In most fans, The bearings are the first thing to go, and they start making an abrasive noise before dying outright shortly thereafter. The number 6 position is held by Noctua NF-A8 IPPC. While most people who use their computer for pretty normal things like gaming or work will typically want a decent fan that is also very quiet, some people, like avid overclockers or even those who run servers or other serious hardware, might not care about their fans being dainty, quiet little workers. Instead, these people are after one thing: performance. If this sounds like you, then you will love the industrial strength fan that Noctua has to offer. The NF-A8 IPPC from Noctua is an industrial fan designed for use in servers or other similarly demanding environments where performance and reliability matters, and bothering people with noise doesn't. This fan pushes a jaw-dropping 158.5 feet of air per minute, which is even more than much larger MegaFlow 200 we looked at earlier. On top of the high airflow, these fans push the air with 10.52mm H2O of static pressure, which is literally an order of magnitude more than most of the other fans on this list. These specs make these hands down the best PC cooling fans on the market. However, there is a catch. To achieve this kind of performance, these fans spin up to a maximum of 3000 RPM. At this speed, the fans are the loudest on our list at a pretty obnoxious 41.3 decibels of noise. While this is fine in a server room or while doing some benchmarking during overclocking sessions, most people don't want this much noise in their home. The number 5 position is dominated by Noctua NF-A8. As anyone who's built a small form factor PC before knows, cooling is a big deal. Without sufficient airflow and cooling, your hardware, specifically your graphics card, can quickly overheat and throttle itself. If you're looking for a good way to avoid this, but your case can't fit any huge fans, then we suggest you check out the Noctua NF-A8. As we mentioned with the first fan we looked at, Noctua is known for making high-performance fans in a rather unappealing two-tone brown design. Unlike the first Noctua fan, this one upholds both aspects of its legacy. That being said, the NF-A8 is easily the best 80mm case fan on the market today, despite its dated looks. The fan uses anti-vibration mounts to reduce noise, which can often be an issue with smaller fans since they spin at a higher RPM. This fan in particular manages dBA even at its maximum speed of 2200 RPM. This makes it another great pick for media center PCs. Moving on to the next at number 4 with Cooler Master MegaFlow 200. While 120mm case fans are pretty much the standard these days, there are other options, both smaller and larger. If you've got a big case and need to move as much air as possible through it, then you will probably need to be looking at the monstrous MegaFlow 200, which is the best 200mm case fan for keeping big cases cool. The huge proportions of this fan give it a number of advantages over smaller fans. For starters, this fan pushes an insane amount of air, 110 feet per minute to be exact. This allows you to keep the hottest components cool in any case this fan will fit into. If your case has a tendency of accumulating heat causing temperatures to spiral out of control under sustained loads, then this is the fan you need to keep your hardware supplied with cool fresh air. Its massive size allows it to run at surprisingly low speeds. The maximum RPM of this fan is a meager 700 RPM despite the insane airflow. This means the fan is incredibly quiet, measuring in at only 19 decibels. The number 3 position is held by Corsair LL120. These days, no custom gaming machine is complete without the most important acronym in tech, RGB. If you're in search of good case fans that can truly make your computer shine, then look no further than the Corsair LL120. These 120mm fans have 2 light loops, one in the bulb and one around the rim, that have a combined total of 16 RGB LED lights. Each one of these lights can be individually controlled, offering complete control over the look of the light in your fan and the ability to create practically limitless combinations of colors. While the fans are solid individually, we suggest taking a look at the starter pack that Corsair offers. The pack comes with 3 fans in addition to a lighting node Pro. Each fan must be plugged into a lighting node, which acts as a hub and allows you to control the custom lighting through Corsair's Q software. While the combo pack comes with an RGB hub, you will need to ensure you have one if you purchase these RGB fans individually, at least if you want to use them to their fullest. While the RGB in these fans is outstanding, there are no slouch when it comes to performance either. The fan runs at up to 1500 RPM and can push up to 43.3 feet of air per minute through your case. Next at number 2, we have Be Quiet Silent Wings 3. Be Quiet is a company that always lives up to their name with their lineup of practically silent power supplies, heat sinks, and fans. The flagship of their fan lineup is the Silent Wings 3, which is by far the best computer fan for those who are looking for a low noise option. Often in applications like an entertainment center, the amount of noise the fan produces is the number one thing people look at. Often the computer found in these systems doesn't run super hot, so a powerful high-performance fan isn't necessarily needed. This is the kind of system that the Silent Wings 3 excels in with its 16.4 dBA noise ceiling when running at full blast. Be Quiet achieved this using a number of engineering techniques, including designing a rubber insulated frame to absorb vibrations and special fan blades that move smoothly and silently through the air at any speed. They also don't spin nearly as quickly as many other fans, only reaching a max speed of 1450 RPM. For reference, 16.4 decibels is something that in most rooms would be impossible to notice and would even be drowned out by your own breathing. Despite the low RPM and silent operation, these fans still boast impressive performance. They move up to 50.5 feet of air per minute with a static pressure of 1.79mm H2O. All of these numbers are for the 120mm version, but they also offer a 140mm version as well as some other options such as high-speed variation. Finally, the number 1 position is dominated by Noctua NF-A8 Redux. Noctua is an Austrian company that became known for their incredibly high performance and distinct looking fans. Originally, their meticulously designed fans were only available in a notoriously ugly two-tone brown color, making them only for those willing to sacrifice some of the coolness factor of their rig for maximum performance. Luckily, in recent years, they released their Redux line of fans that are amped up versions of the award-winning fans that earned them their reputation that also sports improved looks. The Noctua NF-A8 Redux is the best 120mm case fan on the market and comes in a sleek grey color rather than the less suave brown Noctua is so known for. The Noctua NF-A8 Redux sports impressive performance with 2.83mm H2O of static pressure and 70 flow at full throttle. This is sufficient static pressure to easily push air through even a very dense radiator, making these great as intake or exhaust fans for water-cooled computers. These fans also provide enough airflow to clear out even very large cases, especially when several are installed at once. Noctua also takes great care when engineering their fans that they are not only able to offer top-of-the-line performance, but that they will also be as quiet as possible. These fans operate at a maximum noise level of 25.1 decibels, which as you'll see is not the quietest fan in our roundup, but is impressive for the performance. At this noise level, it would be very hard to notice the sound of the fans, especially since they will be operating at less than 100% most of the time thanks to their strong performance. That's all for today. We upload tech product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for the upcoming video notifications.